Give us a sense, if you can, of what the situation is like at the airport now.
Good afternoon, Tokes. Well, this is one of the busiest days of the year for this airport. Normally around 110,000 people would be going through here on 760 flights. The airport is now back up and running, but partially. 100 flights have been cancelled today, and there is, of course, still a backlog of hundreds of thousands of passengers. Airplanes are also in the wrong location, crews are in the wrong location, because flights had to be diverted to airports around the UK and the continent when this drone invaded on Wednesday night. Now, people here are glad that things are getting back to normal, but there are real questions about how a drone could cause so much chaos at what is one of the busiest airports in Europe.
Vincent, there's growing speculation that an eco-warrior or warriors may be behind this. So what's the official word on that?
Well, I've spoken with the police and airport authorities here this morning. They're keeping their mind open. They have ruled out terrorism, but they were saying that this was deliberate and it was coordinated. They haven't caught the person responsible yet, but it did take the military to come in overnight and deploy some kind of technology. They won't give us any details about what it is, possibly some kind of signal jammer to stop the drone from coming back on the airfield. But of course, if it does come back on, they will have to suspend operations once again. The police yesterday had some snipers out on the airstrip. They were photographed, but they took the decision it wasn't safe enough to shoot down the drone and said it's actually incredibly hard because it's such a small device that they wouldn't been able to do it, and they couldn't guarantee the safety of where the shot might land if they had missed. But there are questions now about whether or not they need to do more to protect airports around the country, and whether or not this person might try it at another airport, and then they'd have to deploy the same military measures there as well.
Vincent, what about you mentioned there the other measures which may be taken at other airports, but that would require legislation, wouldn't it?
Well, it's still unclear. The UK actually updated its laws on drones earlier in the year, and it now has an unlimited fine and as well a 5-year prison sentence or a 5-year prison sentence for the person if they are caught. But what there has been criticism of is the fact that the UK only put around a 1-kilometre barrier zone around its airports. If you compare that with Paris, which is 5 kilometres, people are saying, why wasn't it more? But in this case anyway, most drones are now programmed to stop them being able to fly into these red zones like airports. But this person, whoever they are, or group of people, have been able to reprogram the drone to bypass that, so they wouldn't have been able to stop that anyway. But there are calls now for this legislation to be reviewed, and speaking to the police here, they acknowledged that they're going to have to do a detailed study after this incident. They said it was unprecedented because they'll need to see, in case anyone wants to take advantage of this weakness again, how they can stop it more effectively in future.